You draw from all different elements. I was doing Claude Rains from The Invisible Man. Crazy? You think I'm crazy? I'll show you who's crazy. So, you know, when other kids were studying algebra, I was working on my smarter than the average bear. Hey, boo-boos.
I'm smarter than the average bear.
The way I did it was when I would be in a record store, I'd go to the children's record section and look at Rocky and Bullwinkle albums, Looney Tunes albums that had the list of who did what. And I would recognize voices. I said, okay, Huckleberry Hound, he sounds like Andy Griffith. Snagglepuss is Bert Lahr.
How long can you stay fresh in that can? Come on, get up and fight.
There was one that had a particular impact on me, and I think it was before I even started first grade. I was probably 5. Walt Disney's TV program pulled back the curtain on how movies were made, probably more than any other single entity in the 60s. And they'd show you the making of this, the making of that, and you'd see the camera crew and the carpenters and the wardrobe department. But there was one that had a particular impact on me. Clarence Nash, this distinguished looking man in a suit, doing the voice of Donald Duck.
I said Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas.
A light bulb went off in my head. It made me really think about the people behind the voices. It's the ultimate character actor's dream because the character actor disappears into his role and you don't see the actor, you see the character. Well, in animation, they do that for you. They cast with their ears, not their eyes, so you're going to be able to play characters you would never get if you were on camera. I was a teenager and just a year out of college, and I got a job on Hanna-Barbera's Genie, which was the teenage version of I Dream of Jeannie, and I played the Larry Hagman part. This was big for me. I walked in and they were all these idols from when I was a kid. I met Don Messick and Daws Butler. With Mel Blanc, he pretty much did everybody, but to see who all those wonderful voice actors were, it's something I aspired to be a cartoon voiceover actor. Basically, you read the script and say, what's required of my character to make this story work? Of course, if you have the director there or even the writers, you can talk to them and arrive at a voice. Sometimes it can scare you, because I was going in to do a character where I said, well, he's very rotund, so I'll give him sort of a fat voice. I'll make him a little moist, and I guess I made him from somewhere in New York. And they said, we love what you're doing, but we don't like the lisping thing, if you take that out. And also the Brooklyn thing, we don't want to identify where he's from. And he sounds a little sort of portly, or pretty much they took away everything I had presented to them. But that's part of the fun. I mean, you don't have time. You can't go over and have a coffee. You're on the clock. So what you do is you start going through your little repertoire. You know, they'll say, no, a little higher, that's good, you know, and you arrive at something that makes everybody happy. Because when they're happy, I'm happy.
I really have to congratulate myself on this one.
The one that I was most intimidated by was the Joker, because I auditioned thinking there's no way they could handle the backlash of Luke Skywalker being this icon of villainy. And of course, your friends always point out, your actor friends said, dude, I wouldn't want to follow Jack Nicholson in anything. I went, oh no, I forgot about that.
Oh, there'll be a hot time in the old town tonight.
But I thought the only way I can do this is do my version. And it's based on the script that they gave me and the one drawing of him. He seemed to be all teeth. All teeth. He reminded me of the Blue Meanies in Yellow Submarine. You draw from all different elements, because I was doing Claude Rains from The Invisible Man. Crazy? You think I'm crazy? I'll show you who's crazy. I had so much fun doing that character, because he's insane. And if you're insane, you're unpredictable. And if you're unpredictable, you're never boring.
And he had that incredible laugh.
Oh my gosh.
Where did that come from?
So I had quite an arsenal of laughs in my repertoire already. I said to the producers, I don't want him to have just one laugh. I think his laugh should be like the colors on a palette, where it reflects his mood. And I remember reading an interview with Frank Gorshin where he talked about, it's not that the Riddler laughs, it's what he laughs at. that defines who he is. So his Riddler is like one of my favorite comic book villains of all time. I love Frank Gorshin.
Where is he? He's never been this late before.
The line that really struck me is in The Man Who Killed Batman. Matt Frewer plays this two-bit crook who accidentally kills Batman. Everyone believes he's dead.
I have this terrible feeling he's really not coming.
Joker loses the will to live. His raison d'etre is gone. And he says, without Batman, crime has no punchline. And I thought, wow, crime has no punchline, like it needs one. But Batman, he needs Batman. And I had my favorite Batman, Kevin Conroy.
I am Batman!
When they offer me roles now, I said, is Kevin doing it? They said, yeah, he's in. I said, oh, then I'm in. I don't even have to read the script. If Kevin's doing it, I'll do it.
Oh, Batsy!
First of all, I tried to play him like I'd never played him before. And then you would look at the script and it would call for different things. There was an episode where Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy team up. It was sort of a Thelma and Louise. And so Joker's left at home shuffling around in the house, you know. So in that instance, he was used for kind of pathetic comedy. So like you say, every project is different. That's what keeps it fresh and interesting.
So you're not done with the character?
Well, I don't know. You never know. You treat everyone as your last job, because there's been some spectacular Jokers over the years. Brent Spiner and Kevin Michael Richardson, Jeff Bennett, John DiMaggio, and on, Michael Emerson. And to tell you the truth, I listened to them and I thought, ooh, that was a really good choice. I wish I'd thought of that. Because everyone, it's like the Hamlet of villains. It'll be endlessly reinterpreted by actors in the future, and I'm just lucky I got a chance to do it at all.
I'm not taking orders from you anymore.
You will obey me, or this defiant breath will be your last.
Fire Lord OZAI. When I read it, I thought, this thing's not going to last because it's too smart. It's too intellectual. It doesn't have the flashbang wallop that seemed to be what was popular at that time. I got a lot of feedback from parents saying that I watched this with my children, and that's the best, when you can be a part of something that appeals to the entire family. Much better than any of us could have imagined, and that was largely due to the writing. I'm trying to remember. I remember looking at the drawing thinking, he's got a very David Hyde Pierce vibe going on, sort of, you know, Niles Crane, a little bit of superiority and entitlement. Dubbing is much more difficult because normally the process is they record your line and they go off and animate to your line. In this case, it's a finished film, and I'm blanking on the name who worked with me, Henry, the director. He's so good because he specializes in dubs, so he'll be there with you, he'll watch you do a take, and then he'll either add a couple syllables or subtract a couple of syllables to make it more synced with the original animation. But again, this guy, Miyazaki, he's a genius.
Over here, Andy. Leave me alone!
The script is everything. Let me read the script. I got a really nice letter from Lars Klevberg, the director, where he was talking about how he saw it as a Greek tragedy and that Chucky's an innocent, and how he hopes that the audience will have some understanding or some sympathy for him. So I thought, wow, the fundamental change that made me really want to do it was, unlike the original, he wasn't a serial killer's personality transposed onto a doll. He was an innocent doll where someone maliciously goes in and takes off the safety measures. That totally justified it. It was scary because, again, I'm sort of old school and I want Chucky to be Chucky. But, you know, you have to serve the script, and that wouldn't have worked.
Do you have a particular favorite line from this film?
Well, I love when he says, "Are we having fun now?"
Are we having fun now?
He doesn't know. And I can relate to that because, you know, as you get older, you look at your kids and go, "Are we having fun now?"
Good night, Andy.